designated terrorist organization. Now this big development, India has expelled a senior diplomat. The High Commissioner of Canada was summoned to the headquarters of the Ministry of External Affairs early in the morning, pictures of which we saw Shivangi, and then he was told that the government of India has decided to expel a senior Canadian diplomat. The identity of the diplomat has still not been revealed, but then he has been asked to leave within 5 days from the country. The decision of the government of India reflects the growing concern in New Delhi at the interference of Canadian diplomats in our internal matters and their involvement in anti-India activities. So that's a big one. A Canadian diplomat accused of indulging in anti-India activities while in New Delhi and has been expelled from New Delhi and been asked to leave in 5 days.
Right, Abhishek, it's extremely big news, expelled for interfering in internal affairs. If we could take our viewers through exactly what are the allegations which are against a senior Canadian diplomat, what really happened and which issue was brought up?
Well, the issue was very clear. The manner in which the Canadians have been indulging in anti-India activities, the manner in which Justin Trudeau has personally gotten involved in backing these terrorists against India from the Canadian soil, these Khalistani elements, on the support of whom his government, his minority government really depends. I think it's a clear case of India saying that we are not going to indulge in any tolerance with this kind of indulgence with terror, that we are not going to brook any indulgence with terror. We are going to read the Riot Act, and that's what's happening.
Right. Abhishek, very big update coming in right now, and we all have seen as well a short while back after the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had come for the G20 summit. We saw some statements being made on Khalistan. We also saw a to and fro between India and Canada. If you could take us through with the background, because we have seen a lot of activity when it comes to talks between India and Canada on Khalistan terror, and especially on Canada being soft on Khalistan terror.
Well, yes, so Shivangi, so it was building up, as I said. We have had early in the morning, Monday morning in Canada, Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister, is speaking in their parliament and saying that India has been involved in some acts on Canadian soil which affects their citizens, and he was making a direct charge of accusing India of being involved, or Indian agencies being involved in the killing of Hardeep Singh, Nijjar, the Khalistani terrorist who was number 2 effectively in the Sikh for Justice, an organization which is designated terror group in India and banned and proscribed. As also he was member of Babbar Khalsa International, as also he had set up the Khalistan Tiger Force, all banned organizations by the Ministry of Home Affairs, subsequent to which India had made it known to the Canadians that this indulgence with these terror elements, Khalistani elements from Canadian soil, is something India is not going to like. This is not the India that used to tolerate this kind of thing, or, would be, it's not business as usual anymore. But then it seems the Canadian establishment thought, because of their hubris, perhaps that they will get away with it, and obviously that's not going to happen. It's really a little unprofessional on the part of the diplomatic team of Canada in the High Commission here in New Delhi to not send in cables uprising the Ottawa establishment of the changed circumstances in New Delhi, and the manner in which the government takes these kind of activities seriously. And I think that has had a fallout where the Ottawa establishment perhaps was absolutely unaware that things can really go out of hand and downhill if they don't act, if they don't cut their umbilical cord with these elements. Unfortunately, there was no sane advice perhaps available to Justin Trudeau, because of which he has done what he has done, or has been doing what he has been doing. As I said, there have been domestic compulsions to the Canadian government of Justin Trudeau. The Liberal Party that he belongs to has a dependence on the NDP, which is headed by Jagmeet Singh, and obviously that connection really transforms into this indulgence that we have seen with the Khalistani elements, and these very preposterous accusations coming in from Ottawa. India obviously hitting back after one of our diplomats was asked to leave Ottawa. India asking that within 5 days this top diplomat has to leave New Delhi because he was found to be indulging in activities incompatible with his role as a diplomat in New Delhi.
All right. Also, we are being joined by Samiksha. Samiksha is from a Mumbai newsroom, and she has the MEA statement with her. Samiksha, take us through what the MEA statement says, because we know that the diplomat has been expelled for activities which are not compatible with the role. Samiksha, over to you.
Well, absolutely, Shivangi. And before I take you through the statement, there couldn't have been a sharper response from Indian side. Reading out the statement that was earlier put out by the MEA, the High Commission of Canada to India was summoned today and informed about the decision of the government of India to expel a senior Canadian diplomat based in India. The concerned diplomat has been asked to leave India within the next 5 days. So that's the caveat here. 5 days time, the ultimatum that's been given to the envoy here. The decision reflects Government of India's growing concern at the interference of Canadian diplomats in our internal matters and their involvement in anti-India activities. Just a quick recap of the fast-paced developments, Shivangi, we've seen since early morning. We just heard the soundbite of Trudeau also earlier today, how he's accused India of backing its involvement in alleged assassination of a Khalistani terrorist. In fact, it's out-and-out action that's been taken by the Canadian officials without seeking an explanation from India, and India in turn has given a very sharp response stating that such a thing will not be tolerated. A 5-day ultimatum has been given to the Canadian diplomat back home, Shivang.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a very, very important development coming in. Samiksha, also, if you could take our viewers through exactly why India has taken such a strong stand, because Abhishek Kapoor, a senior executive editor, was also telling us that in the past, India has softly and in a very diplomatic way, in a very friendly way, told Canada that please take care of the Khalistan terror on your land. Please take care. Do not back terror. Help us if you're our friend. But time and again, Canada has refused, I repeat, refused to cooperate, which has made India take such a strong step, Samiksha.
Well, absolutely, Shivangi. And just to put this on record, this is not the first time that Canada has shown its support to the Khalistani activities. We've seen, let's not forget, the Indira Gandhi assassination tableau that was carried out in Canada. That was again to which the Canadian officials did not essentially condemn. And this is just days after that visit of Trudeau to the G20 summit that we are seeing that this such an action has come from the Canadian side. Also not forget that the FTA deal has been halted between India and Canada. So this comes just days after that pause also on the FTA deal. So that's an open support that the Canadian officials have extended to the Khalistani activities, to which India has sharply responded, saying that such a thing will not be tolerated, giving a 5-day ultimatum to the Canadian diplomat. Shivang.
All right, let's go straight to Abhishek Kapoor, who's joining us right now. Abhishek, the statement